Donc lorsque je flingue, c'est toute ma putain de nation qui flingue avec moi. Tu vois ce que je veux dire?
Welcome back, everyone. Pluto 3 rounds. Coach Terry, Jab University. How you been, man? How's this weather treating you, man? It's
It's
crazy.
weird. It's weird. It was snowing yesterday and the day before. It's 70 degrees today. I don't know. My head's about to explode. Never been so congested in my life.
Man, I'm telling you, man. It's something's going around, and I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, but we'll see how Newark, New Jersey is like. We're gonna go there today. Monday we were out in. I thought we were in California, but we were actually in Mexico. We're in
Yeah, that was
Hidalgo.
cool.
That was kind of cool. So he's talking about Carlos Morales. He's going to have a tournament, which is interesting. Hopefully, I haven't seen anything posted as far as a stream or anything, but we'll see. Hopefully, we get something and check him out because he's trying to do something out there. Can't blame him for that. That's what it is. So, real quick, we got next week. We're going to start breaking down National Open. That's already around the corner out in Albuquerque. So we'll see kind of how who's back from. We talked about Jordan Fuentes. Let's see who's back after the qualifiers on the elite side. But then seeing all these young kids, just let's see what's going on there. So we'll break that down next week. Over the weekend, we're gonna have the brackets are gonna be set up for the qualifier out in Italy, and then I believe the tournament kicks off Sunday. So it's gonna be a busy couple of days to see how that all pans out. There might be a couple spots secured, so we'll see what's going on there. But let's go and get the guests in here today, and let's bring them in. Hey, Chap, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here for a little bit. 3 Rounds Live, solely dedicated to amateur boxing. So we like to talk to the boxers and like yourself that's involved in the sport. So first of all, go ahead and say your name, city and state, and the name of the gym that you train at.
My name is Qawi McFadden. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, and I box at an Undisputed Boxing Club.
Undisputed Boxing Club. All right. First question I ask everyone is, how do you get started? How do you get involved with boxing?
My dad, he was a boxer, and I'm the youngest, and so he was done with boxing pretty much when he had me. But he told me he boxed all that. He brought me to the gym when I was a little kid, and I kind of liked it. I first sparred when I was 8 years old. Then I went to football practice because I used to want to be in the NFL, but them dreams, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. So boxing, I really like boxing, and I started my first fight when I was 9. So
Okay. So what dashed those NFL dreams?
I'm pretty small. I'm a pretty small guy, so that's really what did it.
All right. You never heard of Darren Sproles? Man. So what's it like being a boxer from Newark, New Jersey? It's Brick City. You got right now one of the top, I guess you can't call him prospect because he's won 2 titles, and Shakur's from Newark as well. Like, what's it mean to represent Newark?
It means a lot. From here, my dad from here. Obviously Shakur is an icon. We also got Emmanuel Chance, Zaquin Moses. We definitely got a lot of people coming out of Newark, New Jersey right now. The boxing scene in Newark feels great.
Okay. How active is it? You guys have a lot of shows. Are you still getting fights locally, or is it just mainly work at the national level?
Mostly at the national level. I don't really get a lot of one-night shows. When I can, here and there, but mostly at the nationals.
Okay. Right. Are you going to be out in Albuquerque in a couple of weeks?
No, I won't be there.
Okay. All right. But you just came off a good tournament, the National Silver Gloves. Competed there a couple times. Prior to that, out in Lafayette, I noticed that you went to the tournament. You didn't get that decision that you were looking for at the end, right? I think you ended up going 1-1, got the win in the first night and then and second night. How did that setback at nationals kind of get you to the point that you were able to come out to the Silver Gloves and kind of do your thing there?
That loss made me work harder, made me realize I had to work on boxing a little bit more, and I implemented my boxing game into the Silver Gloves. I came out victorious.
Okay, so we noticed you prefer the boxing. We've seen you compete quite a bit. Do you think sometimes the scoring system kind of works against you from time to time?
Yeah, sometimes, especially in that fight in December in Lafayette. I didn't really like the scoring on that, but it was okay.
All right.
All right. How many fights do you have so far?
I believe 51.
51. Okay, that's a good amount. Junior division. Do you have a bout that like a memorable bout or one that stands out? Good win, maybe one that you learned a lot from.
Um, when I was a kid in the Silver Glove regionals, I fought. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm not gonna say that one. Hmm. My first fight, actually. My first fight was in Lancaster, PA. I actually fought a national champion my first fight
Oh, nice.
at 60 pounds. I lost to a kid named Jaron Cologne, and we ended up fighting 3 more times after that. And it's always great work when we work too.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Out of all these tournaments you go to, because you go to quite a bit, what's your favorite tournament to go to?
Definitely the one in December.
The big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why that one?
Because it seems to always be more competitive. Lots of people, and it's also the time to get on the team. And so I love watching and also fighting in it.
Okay.
Okay. And talking about the team, especially youth and elite, you get to go to selection camp and kind of be part of the team and get an opportunity to compete internationally. For the juniors, it was like that. Now it's not, but they are having these kind of more introductory type camps, which I believe you attended one last year out in Chula Vista. Tell us about that whole experience. What when you were out there, what you thought was going to happen, what actually happened. Just tell us about the whole experience and how you felt out there among some of the best in the nation.
It was super fun out there. It was a great experience. Working along some real good amateurs like Marcus Luther and them. We did 3 workouts a day. Uh, it it was out all the way out in Cali. It was my first time in Cali, and we uh we did stretching. It taught me a lot of new stretches for my body to recover and things like that. And yeah, it was overall it was pretty fun. It was a great experience. Also, the food out there was good. They had the chefs making it. Yeah, and we did also work real hard.
Okay. Well, I know y'all didn't have the greatest food out there because the taco shop over Euclid and Imperial is the best. But y'all was stuck on there eating the healthy stuff. All right. So you get a chance, go there. All right. So when you got into boxing, like what were the goals and have they changed the longer you've been in the sport?
Yeah, when I first got into boxing, it was really just for fun. Like I said, when I first got into boxing, my main focus was on football, but then it kind of shifted, and because I was always getting injured in football, things like that, and I really started winning. And once I started winning, I started liking it more. And then I got an injury in football that had me out of boxing, and so I was really like that really bummed me out that I was out of boxing, and that's when I really knew that I loved the sport. And then when I won the nationals in 2022 December. From there, I just kept wanting to win nationals, and now my goal is to make the youth team in this December.
Okay, there you go. And you know, you said December is the biggest tournament, so you got to be, you know, uh, you know, coming ready to compete for that one. Talk us or walk us through just how you get ready for a tournament like that. You're out there week long. Brackets that you're in that are pretty stacked. That you probably be competing every day against some very high quality opponents. How do you get ready? How's camp? How long is it? How do you make sure that you're ready to execute when it's time to compete?
My camps usually be about 8 weeks, and I make sure I'm very disciplined as far as eating, my eating habits, and working out. Getting up early in the morning to run and stuff like that. Uh, I work hard during the 8 weeks, my hardest. So I definitely know if I lose, it's not because I worked hard enough. And I definitely don't want to be outworked. So yeah.
That's it.
So what? Because you seem to take the sport extremely serious. You know what I mean? What prompted that seriousness at a young age in this sport?
I want to go super far. Uh, you know, to go far, you have to work hard. You can't cut corners. And so I definitely and my dad, he's always instilled me that. He always put that in my mind since I was a little kid. So yeah.
And this is a unique sport, right? Because it's not part of the school system. You kind of have to go out of your way to really be a part of it and excel, in it. So, but and you gotta juggle. You're a student. You gotta juggle schoolwork and all that stuff. Like, how difficult is it to kind of juggle that? Especially going into the youth. You got high school and all that stuff. Like, how are you doing, dealing with all that? Make sure that you do, your schoolwork and all that, but then are, trying to put in time to make sure you're improving in your boxing.
I make sure I keep a tight schedule, like during the week. Make sure I get my work done. Make sure I could go to the gym, and also I get on the roll. My dad's pretty on me about my grades, so I keep those up for sure. And yeah.
Shout out to dad, definitely. That's important, and to keep on that as well.
So what's your favorite part about boxing?
Um, Being able to showcase my talents in front of people.
Okay. And is there anything in particular, like training wise, that you like best?
Uh, I like doing pads. That's
Yeah.
like when I'm on the bag, it's cool, but I like doing pads in the ring.
Okay. Why?
It just seems to be more fun, and my dad be challenging me in there, and so yeah.
Okay.
There you go. And what about the opposite of that? What's the thing that you just, you rather not do if you didn't have to? Is there something that you just kind of, you do it because it's part of the process, but if you had a choice, maybe you skip it or not focus on that. Is there anything in particular?
Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I hate jumping rope. I do it every day, but I hate it.
Okay, I haven't heard that one, but hey, I get you, man. And you got to do rounds of that, and hey, that's an interesting one. So, what you got,
All
Coach?
right. So, uh, like you said, this ain't no school sport. Does your school know that you box, teachers, students, and do when you win these tournaments, do they celebrate or give you any recognition for it?
Not really. They know I box. They don't really look into it for real. They're usually looking into like all the wrestling team, the football team, stuff like that. But yeah.
Come on, man.
Man, come on. School, like, teachers gotta put a little bit more effort on that. I'll put any boxer against any other athlete, man. What they do, it's demanding. It's a demanding sport. You know what I mean? So, Coach and I, we've seen you compete numerous times, right? You're out competing in national all the time. But if somebody hasn't seen you compete in there, what kind of boxer are you? What are you trying to do when you get in the ring?
I like to hit and not get hit. The name of the game. Um, I move around when I need to. I make sure I want to win the rounds so I could overall win the fight. And yeah.
Okay, so uh, I guess what you've been around for a while with they showed up in 21, the open scoring. Uh, was that the Lubbock JOs in 21? This first time kind of had it. Uh, did that? Did you notice a change in how you had to box or adjust in the corner? And then, like, how do you like the open scoring? How's that for you?
I definitely love the open scoring. Some people don't like it, but I definitely like it because if I if I lose the first round, then I know I got to switch it up. But if I win the first round, I know I could keep doing what I'm doing to get the decision. And even in December with the open scoring, I knew I lost the fight after the second round, and that's when I made the decision to go at him. And yeah.
Okay, they said now before open scoring, they said the most telling round was the first round. 80% of people that won the first round won the fight. After open score came in, they say the most telling round is the second round where both coaches have made adjustments.
Uh,
So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
yeah, that makes sense. And it takes a little bit out of the guesswork, right? Because you never know, the judges that are around the ring, getting that info in and kind of relaying that to you, or in just the strategy, helps. I think it challenges the coach more than that. They got to make the adjustments to get the boxer to do that. So, tell me a little bit about, say you're a couple bouts out, right? You're getting your hands wrapped, you're kind of getting into the mode of getting in the ring, competing. How do you get that? How are you, type of boxer that kind of just flips a switch, or what are you doing during those final moments where you have to go out there to compete, to be able to execute what the plan is?
I like to stay calm. I used to get nervous. I don't really get nervous anymore. I like to stay calm, listen to music, make sure all vibes are good. I talk to my dad, talk to anybody else I'm with. If I'm with some people at the tournament, listen to some music. Like I said, uh, I tell myself a lot. Like, I'm at my best. A lot of people can't really mess with that. So I put that into my brain before my fights.
What you listening to?
I listen to a lot of raw wave.
Okay.
It seems to be very popular.
Yeah, yeah.
Broadway for
The
sure.
new generation like them.
Yeah.
They like them a lot. So when these tournaments, when you get there, you fighting all day. It's either you boxing during the day or the evening. If not in the day, you got somebody on your team in the evening. Like, so you sitting down watching boxing. Who you watching compete while you at these tournaments?
Um, I like watching Marcus. He be getting knockouts. Uh, I like watching my man's Ramon Ordonez. We usually be in the hotel together. Um, my man Yoel Cooper. I was just in the hotel with him in the Silver Gloves. People like that.
Okay, that's what's up. Watching them Jersey boys.
Yeah, definitely. Undisputed Boxing Club. That's the gym. Tell us a little bit about the gym there. Who's coaching? You got any other teammates that travel with you to nationals? Tell us a little bit about the team out there.
Um, I would say like I'm really the only amateur that rep this gym, but we have a pro, Anthony Big Back Johns. He fights. We got a former Olympian for the Dominican Republic, Jerson. I don't know his last name, but
Ravello? No.
um, he's a former Olympian. But yeah, uh, Akbar Muhammad is the main guy there, and I'll be there for sparring, for working out, all that.
All right. Are you sparring these pros or are you traveling to spar the amateurs as well?
I haven't. I'll be traveling to spar amateurs. I haven't sparred Anthony Johns yet. We working on it, but yeah.
Okay, who you sparring with then?
Notable names is Jasir Jr. I'll be sparring him
Okay, yeah.
for sure.
There you go. Yeah, he's quick. He's real slick there, Jazeer Jr. for sure. Real quick, 3 ounce live number 178. We're out here talking to Qawi McFadden, Newark, New Jersey. Uh, competing at the junior division, getting ready for that youth come nationals. Uh, especially as you start kind of going through the divisions, the age divisions, get a little older. Uh, the separation, the boxers, they say that it takes only a couple exchanges to really define who wins the round sometimes because they're so close. What are you and your team working on to make sure that you're separating yourself a little bit from the competition, make it a little easier for the judge to say, you know what, no, he took the round. Like, what are those things that you think are going to help you kind of reach that separation, make it clear for the judges?
I make sure to use my jab and try to outclass my opponents, so the judges have no doubt in their mind that I definitely won that round.
with the jab.
Yeah, everything starts with the jab. So that you're competing at a high level, you're having to travel to spar. Like, are you out there helping your pops fundraise and stuff like that so y'all get where you're going? Because nothing happens in Jersey. None of these tournaments, you got to go. Well, this is Albuquerque. Last one's Lafayette. You know, Lubbock before that, Wichita. They're all far from New Jersey. Like, are you contributing to the funds to help you get where you're going?
We post a little flyer like before going out for people to do
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay, yeah, because it really kind of sucks for the East Coast cats and the far West Coast Pacific Northwest cats because none of that stuff is close to y'all.
Yeah.
Never. They always have to travel far, and the funds. It's a real thing. You got to deal. Like, how are you gonna pay for this and the rooms and the week long and all that stuff? Uh, you know, we touched on it a little bit, but like when you have to go for a week, because we got tournaments every couple of months, right? And a lot of them happen during the school year. Is the school kind of understanding with that to give you a little bit of hard time because you're out for a week? Like, how's your experience with that?
Yeah, I submit my vacation request form and they accept it. So it definitely goes in like a month prior to. But like a few days before I leave, I make sure to let my teachers know, and I ask them to give me the work that the students will be doing in class, so I could do it, at least some of it, most of it, in the hotel while I'm gone. And yeah,
All right. Do you consider yourself a fan of boxing?
yeah, for sure.
So, like, are you watching fights and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And who you watching?
Um, Mainly Shakur Stevenson. I like
That goes. Hey, that's what I was saying. You from Newark? Yeah.
I like NUA.
Oh yeah.
Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
Those are a couple.
Okay.
Oh,
You
and
know,
Abdullah Mason as well.
oh,
Ooh, yeah. Hey, he been cooking people lately.
oh man, that's the name to keep an eye out moving forward. Yeah, special kid right there. You know, you started pretty young, and you said your dad was a boxer, so you kind of naturally that was the progression for that. But um, you know, if you had a younger kid come up to you, maybe there's a little bit of interest in trying the sport, like, uh, what would you tell them? So many kids, hey, should I try boxing? What do you think? What would you tell a young kid that may have an interest in getting into the sport?
I tell them they should definitely try it, even if they don't compete. At least work out in the gym is definitely great cardio. And if they do want to compete, they got to give it their all. Go 110% every day in the gym, so it could all come out in fights.
All right. So with the national titles and stuff like that, you said there's no other amateurs really in your gym that are repping the gym, but when you go to these other places, do you find like the younger kids knowing who you are, and with knowing who you are they, I guess, quote unquote, putting you in that mentor, big brother type of role?
Yeah, some kids from Jersey with me, yeah, for sure.
All right. And how's it feel to be like, because a lot of times when you get that role, you didn't choose it. It just kind of falls on you. How are you embracing that role, and how's that, I mean, how do you like it?
I definitely love being a mentor to the kids. They look up to me, and I make sure to push them in the right direction because I wouldn't want to see any of them, going in the wrong direction, losing the sport of boxing. So I make sure to do right.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, like Coach Harry said, you seem to be very very much focused. You know where you're trying to get, and it seems like you're not afraid to put in the work and definitely try to improve each day going in. Now, the journey becomes a little bit more special when you have your dad as your coach, right? He's right there with you. He competed in the sport, so he knows what to expect, to expect, how to kind of guide you to it. But just tell us a little bit about that relationship. Not every boxer has that, but you do. Is it boxing 24/7? Like, how do you guys balance it to make sure you guys, are, try to keep it light because it's a long journey, right? But also make sure that you guys are focused on the targets and the goals that you guys are trying to reach.
Yeah, he's definitely always in the mindset of boxing. He always in the mindset of boxing. I'm always in the mindset of boxing. You know, unless we doing schoolwork. You know, especially at the hotel when we're at tournaments, he's always making me do my work. But it's definitely great. You know, our relationship is great. A lot of people don't have this, like you said. Uh, you know, at tournaments, he knows me. He knows how to push me. I don't think anybody else would push me more. So him and also my granddad. So it's 3 generations in the corner.
That's awesome.
Okay, that's so. This is an odd question because, like, you just mentioned your granddad being in the corner. I know you, the son, probably disagrees with your dad quite a bit. You're the boxer, right? Your granddad ever disagree with your dad in the corner?
Yeah, well, afterwards, not like,
Okay, yeah.
but afterwards, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic because it's dad's the head coach, but grandpa's still his daddy. You know what I mean? That's kind of a interesting dynamic there. How do they make that work in the corner? That's unique. I never seen that one before where it's son, dad, grandfather in the corner. So if you had somebody like anybody that you could test your skills with throughout history, who you getting in the ring with?
Um, my granddad love him. I'll say, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Man, yeah,
Ooh.
you a little light in the butt for that, man. But yeah.
Hey, you got to test yourself against
Yeah.
one of the best, and it, I saw a couple clips of you before I jumped on, and hey, you're aggressive. You know how you got that range. You try to keep that range, but you don't mind exchanging. You know what I mean? So we'll see that would be an interesting thing to see there. Obviously, it's coming out. The whole mindset is boxing, right? Whatever everything kind of relates to about boxing decisions probably are related based on that. But when you're not boxing, when you're not in the gym, or you have to take a little bit of time, like you say, where you got injured or whatever the case may be, if you're not boxing, what are you doing?
Having fun. I do love being a kid. My dad lets me be a kid, so I like going out. Playing outside. Definitely having fun.
Do you take a little bit of time after some of these tournaments? Take like a week to kind of just recoup a little bit and then get back in there, or are you right back in the gym after the tournament?
It depends. Like after December, I definitely didn't take no break. But after the Silver Gloves, I took like a little couple of days, maybe a week. But it definitely depends on where I place in the tournament.
Okay. So you get a chance to. Oh wow, lost him. All right, get a chance to sit down with any notable boxing brain, and you get to pick that brain for an hour. Who are you talking to?
I'm gonna talk to Andre Ward.
That's a good one. It's probably readily available to you too.
Book right here.
Yeah. How was that? I meant to grab it. Like how was that?
It's a great book. I'm on about I think like chapter 3. It's a great book. My dad read it before me.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he's readily available for you. You know what I mean? Like he seems to be, I guess, grants access to himself, especially for the younger boxers.
Definitely. And those are some great minds. So the point is the gain as much knowledge and everything as you get, as you go to your journey to the pros, which I'm assuming is where you're trying to eventually get. Now, the Olympics, right? That's when you start, especially younger. The Olympics tend to be a big source of conversation of the goals that you're trying to get as a young amateur. Uh, is that going to be your goal first? Is the pros maybe more of your calling? Like, where in the level of importance? Where's the Olympics versus the pros? Does one outweigh the other?
Yeah, the Olympics definitely outweighs the pros. Right now, I've always wanted to go to the Olympics. It's always been a dream of mine. I actually like since like 2018. My PlayStation has been Boxing Olympics 2028. So I definitely always been wanting to go to the Olympics.
That's cool. Speaking into existence, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
for
real
sure.
cool. So you want to go to the Olympics? Like what is it about the Olympics that does it for you over the pros?
Um, you know, the when you make it to the Olympics, definitely a lot of promoters are looking at you. You get a nice sign-on bonus. I definitely don't want to jump into the pros too quick. I want to definitely get a promoter, definitely get moved the right way, because the pros is a business. Where you have fun. So yeah.
Man, a
Okay, smart.
lot of great points. It's a smart approach. I've definitely seen some boxers that probably would have benefited of being in the amateurs a little bit longer. Get it, I've seen some make a rash decision off a loss of a tournament or something instead of really thinking of it through, because, like you said, it's a business, and even in the amateurs, you're not going to win them all, but it becomes more critical when you're definitely out in the pros. And just talking about that experience of not every bout's going to go your way. You're going to get some setbacks on your way to sharpen up your skills. How do you and your dad deal with those? Like after a setback, how's that ride home? How are those conversations? Like what are you guys discussing? What are you guys trying to make sure that you guys going to be improved to be ready for the next tournament?
Um, after a loss, um, we look at the things that I did wrong, and we definitely work on those. Even after wins, we focus on the things I did wrong. Uh, every day we're trying to get better and better and better. So like sometimes he'll just text me. I'm in school, like he'll text me out of the blue, something like something that I did wrong. If he like watching one of my fights while he at work or something, something that I did wrong that we gonna work on that day in the gym. So we're definitely always working to get better. And if I do bad in sparring or something like that, he's chewing me out the whole ride. I gotta listen to his mouth. So I definitely always try to do well. Always listen to him.
There you go.
Okay. So how important is film study in your preparation for these tournaments?
It's very important. I definitely make sure to watch all my opponents, because I would think they're doing the same with me. So I definitely want to be ready. And my dad watches. He makes the game plan. I just go out there. I try to execute.
All right.
There you go. There you go. Very, 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 very practical approach. Use all the everything that's around you, all the information. See the videos, see all that, and see how how can improve. Now, as far as I seen, like I said, I went to your Instagram and saw some clips of footage. I've seen the other approach where boxers don't like to put anything out there, right? They don't like to put any bouts, maybe a little bit of like mitt work or something. But you have clips out there. Is that you know was that, did you think about it twice, and you just wanted to put that out there? Like any kind of decision that you had to make to say, I should have put footage out there or not? Like how do you come about that?
No, I definitely love posting myself. Definitely marketing myself to get more followers, building my name up. And I like when other fighters, I'll be seeing like other fighters they'll watch my story or something, and they won't follow, but they'll make sure I know that they watching or something. So I definitely love when other fighters try to watch me, because they know I'm really like that. So, I love when that happens.
You see them lurking.
There you
Yeah.
go. They'll be watching too. They'll be
Yeah,
watching.
they do. Yeah. So you brought it up, the social media thing and just marketing and stuff. Like how, I guess, how do you see social media playing a part in, I guess, boxing as a whole, and in particularly your advancement as a marketeer for yourself?
Social media is a huge role in boxing nowadays. Everything is really on social media now. So when I post videos of myself, I hope to like seek attention from big, big boxing people out there, like you guys or like something like that. So trying to build my name, so more people could watch, and that'll just make my future brighter and brighter.
All right.
There you go. Because the approach is that eventually you're going to have to sell tickets, right? People are going to have to know who you are, and if you're not putting yourself out there, then how are they going to know who you are and what you bring to the table? Because that will be a conversation later on, because you'll eventually have to talk to promoters and kind of sell yourself, because you are the product, right? You are the person, the where you try to make sure that you put yourself in the best position for that. Now, you already been out to a USA boxing camp, and you started competing at 9. You said just to kind of just to win, probably win bouts or whatever. Did you was there a specific moment where this became like you were super, like you knew you were going to be a boxer, right? You were kind of dabbling with another sport, but was there a particular specific time or bout or anything that said, you know what, that I am a boxer. This is what I'm gonna do?
That time when I had got hurt, my last season of football, it was actually the first game of the season. I got hurt, and when I was out of boxing, I actually cried that night because I couldn't box. Had to go to physical therapy and things like that. That's when my love for the sport was really, really there, and I knew that boxing is gonna take me somewhere.
All right. So you're in, I guess, what are you, Gen Z, Gen A? We're both what you call millennials or cusp millennials. What is the, I guess, the solution in your eyes of increasing the profile of boxing? Is we've got the misfit fights and the YouTube fights, and we're competing with UFC and Bellator and one. Like, what would put boxing back when like Muhammad Ali was on top of stuff?
I think champions fighting champions. Like, we need big fighters fighting other big fighters. I don't think the champion should be scared to fight this person or scared to fight that person. Like, scared of a loss on their record. I think everybody should fight each other, no matter a loss or not. And I applaud Ryan Garcia because he's out. He's looking for the big fights, even if he loses. He definitely wants the big fighters.
Yeah, I think we put too much stock in that zero.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's it's shied away these matchups that back in the day you would see matches, having a couple losses on your record. That was just experience, right? That was just, you knew that you would take a bout and go for it. But yeah, the zero was definitely put on a pedestal, and it's impacting it for the worse. Amateur boxing has a ton, especially at national tournaments. I guess it becomes more obvious. Some of those decisions that sometimes you just left scratching your head. It's like, how did the decision go in that direction? Can you think of a moment of how you took a decision that you knew there's no way that I lost that, and it ended up going in the other direction? How did you get? How did you take that? How did you deal with that? Conversation with your dad or whatever, because that tends to happen, unfortunately, very frequently, especially at the national tournament, where those bouts, those wins, have a lot more at stake.
I've been robbed about a couple times in my little amateur career so far. It's always just back to the drawing board. It's always just experience. It's never like, oh man, like I wish I really would have won that fight. Like, of course you really want to win, but at the end of the day, it's all experience. Always trying to work to get to that next level. So yeah.
All right. So when you are at these national tournaments, and it's when they're every quarter, almost every 90 days seems like we have a tournament. So not a lot of work in between these tournaments. Are you finding it where bout one of the tournament you're having to find a rhythm and timing, or like ring rust or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Like my first fight, I like to I like getting a fight like a week before the tournament, just to make sure that I won't have ring rust in that first fight, to make sure I'm definitely ready to go for the tournament. because in these tournaments it's only one and done. So if you mess up once, it's over for the whole tournament. So I definitely like to knock that ring rust off before the tournament.
Okay. And we'll just go to this National Silver Gloves, being that it's the most recent tournament. Um, just walk us how through the. I think you fought 3 times. Um, was the first bout a little bit more nerve wracking because you were trying to get that rust off, and how did you feel just going into championship day, and just let just how you felt about that.
The first bout was it was my first fight ever in the 6 p.m. session in the tournament. So I had to get acclimated to that, like eating prior to my bout, making sure my weight stays down. But it was pretty cool. Going into the championship, I actually had a dream that a guy had whooped me, like beat me up bad, like the night before the championship. And then I woke up, I laughed about it. And then in there, it was pretty cool. And then I came out victorious. And yeah.
So I got up and laughed at it.
Man,
That's
yeah, like,
crazy.
whew, that's a
That's
dream
crazy.
before.
Like how I guess it's a little different for some people, especially those with strong dads in the corner. But like how important is mental preparation for this sport? This is a hard sport. It's somebody's trying to beat you and you're trying to beat them up too. How important is mental preparation, and like what steps do you take to make sure your mind is strong going into battle?
It's very important because, at the end of the day, if you don't have confidence, you don't really have nothing. So I make sure to keep my confidence at a high, always telling myself that I'm like I can't be messed with at my best, and making sure to always improve on my flaws, and never getting too big headed or nothing like that. Always humble and always seeking advice and listening.
There you go. Listen, key. Real quick, 3 rounds live, number 178. We're talking to Qawi McFadden, Newark, New Jersey, represent Undisputed Boxing Club, and recently just won the Silver Gloves at 106. I want to say that was your weight for that one. And we're just discussing, just how you get ready, how you get mentally prepared, the shine on that big stage because you got rings, you got a stadium. It's a big atmosphere, and you have the best from across the U.S. that are looking at you, seeing what you're doing. Like you said, people will be watching your stories. Well, they seeing you competing too, right? They're trying to see what you're doing and trying to learn off you as well. And that's why you put all this work in that 8-week camp or whatever that to make sure that you're ready to go. But there's going to be a point where sometimes maybe you don't want to get up and do those miles, right? Or maybe it's a real tough camp and it gets a little harder to do what you got to do next. But how do you stay motivated in those times when it gets a little harder to do what you're supposed to do? How do you stay kind of on track to make sure you still kind of trying to reach that goal to where you want to get to?
Always like my dad definitely like in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning. I always have my alarm set, but he'll call because he wakes up early for work. So he'll call me. He goes on his rant. Motivational speech. Uh, I'll get up. I run. While I'm running, I don't listen to music or anything. It'd be real dark. I just like to talk to myself and really like put things in the mind, speaking stuff into existence, thinking about everything. You know, when I don't want to go to the gym, obviously I go to the gym every day. My dad, he drives me. So when I don't want to do stuff, I'll be telling myself like, if I don't do this, they're doing it. They're gonna beat me. Like I'll tell myself like, this person definitely doing it. This person definitely doing it. Like whether somebody at my weight or something like that.
Okay. Um, so the first time boxing really, I guess, noticed or seen or had the name of a strength and conditioning coach was when Roy Jones went up to heavyweight to fight John Ruiz, and he hired a guy named Mackie Shieldstone, and then after that, Bernard Hopkins hired him, and then Alex Ariza was with Manny Pacquiao, and Memo Herrera was with Juan Manuel Marquez, and so it's I guess the last 20-25 years of boxing strength and conditioning, uh, physical education, and periodization stuff has showed up in boxing. Before that, it was just your coach did most, if not all, of that. Do you have a separate strength and conditioning guy, or is your dad handling all of that? And how do you feel about strength and conditioning being added to the sport?
My dad handles everything, and I think strength and conditioning is a huge part when in boxing, because not only do you have to take care of your body while you're pushing yourself to the limit, you have to eat right and all these things. But strength and conditioning, like I always do calisthenics. Uh, that's what my dad has always pushed me to do. So yeah.
Okay. Do you have a like a favorite punch or combination you love the land on your opponents that just as soon as you land it you're like oof, like you know that it was a nice clean shot. Do you have any preference?
I like doing the double jab right hand.
There you go.
Hmm.
Flying
That's a
back.
good traditional, old school blue
But when you
collar type
land
thing.
it and you land it right,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good blue collar, hard working combination right there.
mm-hmm.
Very fundamentally sound combination. So when you I guess got into the sport and you seem to like the boxing hit and not get hit portion, but I guess the worldwide fan base has been kind of dumbed down to like brawls. Where have you ever been at a show or an event where you're like, man, you've either felt the need to get into an exchange where you did probably shouldn't have to, or you've been watching a fight and you're like, man, if dude would just box, this would be an easy fight.
Yeah, definitely watching stuff. But in my own fights, I definitely don't let the crowd or anything get into my head. I stick to what I do and I stick to listening to my dad. But in sparring, I definitely like sometimes if I'm boxing and stuff, I like going inside, especially if it's a bigger fighter. I like challenging myself, going inside, stuff like that. I'm definitely working on that a little bit more. I've been working on that. But yeah, and it's also more fun than boxing. Like smacking people around, that's fun, but going toe to toe, that's definitely way more fun.
Okay. Do you feel like I said, because of I guess boxing public as a whole has been kind of dumbed down and to kind of favor that you being a boxer has been punished for actually boxing?
Yeah, a lot of I feel like the people who really know boxing and the real appreciate people who hit and not get and don't get hit. I think it's the new fans that start really coming in. That's really like UFC fans and stuff like that that really like seeing brawls. But the name of the game is to hit and not get hit. So I definitely love seeing people enact that, and I know others like seeing people enact that as well.
There we go.
Definitely, and as coach says, something just kind of dumbing down the approach to the consuming boxing. You know, especially your generation, the younger generation, kind of you guys gonna deal with that a little bit more as far as because the influencer YouTube boxing is definitely happening, right? The zone has a platform home for some of these bouts, so it's here for at least for the immediate future. What are your thoughts on that as far as that kind of maybe more entertainment based of boxing versus the real boxing that you do, the more tactical kind of hit not get hit? Like, do you think that the boxing fans are getting dumbed down, that they're going to expect that even from the skilled type pure boxers like yourself? Like, what do you think the impact of these YouTube boxing that whole scene is going to have an impact on boxing overall?
I think the YouTube boxing scene will give boxing more supporters and have more people watching boxing. Just solely because a lot of people like in Gen Z, they watch YouTube, and if they don't watch boxing, they watch YouTube. But some YouTubers are getting into boxing, so if their favorite YouTuber is getting into boxing, they'll start watching boxing. So I definitely think it'll give more people to be watching boxing. But I think it should be like in its own thing. I don't think that should be with boxing, like the real boxing, because I feel like it'll mess with the sport too much because it's not really real boxing. It's like WWE type. So I feel like yeah, I feel like they shouldn't be in the same thing, but it still should be there.
Okay. Um, have you ever actually watched any of the YouTube boxing?
Only like highlights. I don't really like watching.
Okay. Like, have you seen anybody with any skills?
Jake Paul, he's been in the gym for about
Yeah,
4
I
years.
seen
He
that.
definitely takes boxing serious, so he definitely has some skills. But yeah.
What do you think his? I guess I wouldn't say motivation. The dude's rich, right? uh, like, yeah. What do you think his motivation? Or why he? Why? Like most of us that box or we come from working class. You know, what I mean, we either got a box or just really, really want a box. He is set. Like, what do you think brought him? Why? Why this?
I really don't know. My dad always says something got to be off in your mind for you to do this sport. So I really don't know, but he definitely brings a lot of fans to watch the sport. So hey, so be it.
It might be off. Yeah.
There you go. Real quick, 3 rounds live, number 178. Talking to Qawi McFadden, Newark, New Jersey, Undisputed Boxing Club out there. As we start kind of gathering our final question, again, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here for a little bit. Get to know you, get to know your journey and where you're trying to get to. Um, we said it multiple times. We don't have to tell you this sport demands a lot from you, right? A lot of sacrifice, a lot of can't go to family functions. You can't eat during Thanksgiving because you got the tournament coming up in like 2 weeks. Like it's brutal, right? But it does uh, give you as an individual a lot of discipline, a lot of good attributes as just a good citizen. But what has boxing taught you about yourself?
Um, Taught me that like I'm a hard worker, and when I put my mind to things, I could really achieve it.
Okay. So this is one of my go-to questions I ask every time. You got a magic wand, right? You Kawi Harry Potter McFadden, and you you can change anything to improve this sport, no matter what it is, in the ring, out of the ring, for the fan, coach, athlete, whatever. Abracadabra, have that.
Mm, I have like everybody in the world watching boxing.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah,
I love that.
man. It's sometimes it just you know, just watching the sport being competitive at a high level, there's no, you can't turn away from that. Like the skill comes out and it kind of grabs you. It doesn't matter the sport almost, right? But if you see it at a high level, there's something there that says, okay, this is interesting, this is intriguing, and putting it just in front of people. Yeah, I mean that'll be awesome. We touched on it a little bit with your situation where you have your dad in your corner, your coach teaching you, kind of guiding you through this whole journey, him being a boxer and all. But how does it feel sometimes where you know you, at the end of the tournament you get the win and you turn around and you're sharing those memories with your dad. Your dad's right there in the corner. You know what I mean? And even on those setbacks, right? He's right there, making sure that you get, talking to you, make sure everything, you know, you keep kind of your mind right, mentally correct. But how does it feel just having, your dad right there, sharing that journey, literally right next to you as you go through the sport?
It was great because I know like there's real love there. Like some coaches, I have like animosity, something like that. But I know it's real love there with my father, and I love being able to put a smile on his face when I win, making him proud, things like that. Even when I lose, like he won't be disappointed or anything, you know. He'll just make sure I'm not that down, and we keep working. So it definitely feels great.
All right. So, how does everybody follow this journey? How do they follow Qawi McFadden on the internet, the social media game?
Like my Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the real Qawi McFadden on Instagram.
Okay, that's the only social media you got.
Yeah.
You ain't out there doing TikTok dances.
Nah.
What they got, whipping and nay and all this stuff.
Hey, you gotta something. You know, gotta pick a niche, a little niche, and do some stuff. Because, like you said, I think you really have a good mindset of what is required of you, right? You got to make sure that you're putting yourself out there. That's why you got video clips and you competing as much as you can. You sharpening up. So you're definitely uh, are on your way to make sure that you put yourself in the best position to be able to get to where you're trying to get to, which is the Olympics, then go to the pros and become undisputed, do all that stuff. But with all this knowledge that you're gaining from your dad, just being in the gym, like do you see yourself maybe being a coach down the road? You know, guiding the next generation to getting medals and belts as well.
Maybe we'll see. You know, a lot of good fighters can't be good coaches. I don't know where I'm at just yet, but we'll definitely see down the line.
Hey, it demands a lot from you. You just tell Coach Harry right there. It's a very demanding sport. You probably get gray hair sooner than you should. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. But it's always good. Go ahead and give out those shout outs, those thank yous to everybody that has helped you get to where you're at so far.
Definitely my dad. You know, my brother, my sister, my whole family really. My uncle Ham, my other uncle Rashad. You know, they're probably watching right now. You know, definitely my friends at school, the people that watch me, and all my supporters.
There you go. There you go. That's all we got. Wait, do you have a nickname? You have a nickname yet or not yet? Okay, okay. There you go. Hey, that'll come eventually. Or sometimes you don't have a nickname, right? Sometimes that's
Uh,
just kind of how it plays out. But
One of my dad's coworkers said they could call me the professor because I was at school doing other people's work for $5 an assignment.
Hey man, you cheat, man. You better up that price.
yeah, you gotta up that, man. Come on, come on. Hey, I like that though, the professor. And it seems like you don't mind kind of dissecting film, really kind of strategizing what you're trying to do. When I see the clips that you have out there, some of the bouts that I've seen you, the hit, not get hit, kind of come in and out. Using your footwork to really set up your punches. Like there's a lot of that happening, and it really goes to you just studying the old school boxers and the new school. Everybody, you reading a book. You got Andre Ward's book right there. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like you're approaching this in the way that really put you in the best position. So that's shout outs to you definitely and your pops for doing all that. So real quick, 3 rounds live number 178. Appreciate you staying to the end. We'll have this available the rewatch if you missed any portion of it or just to share around and see who Qawi McFadden is. And if I wasn't a fan before, I'm a fan now because I think the approach is really good and it's your style is also very good to watch. So anything else, Coach? You got
I'm
anything else?
good, man.
All right. Next week we're gonna break down the National Open. See who's going to be competing, who's coming back from the Olympic trials that we had. So we'll do all that. Qawi, I appreciate the time, and that's all we got. So until next week, you guys have a good night. Take it easy.
All right, take care, guys.